All right, my lovers, it's MJ from All Love TV. Really happy to be here with you guys. Let's just get into it. So it's Friday morning where I am, and wherever you catch these readings, if you resonate, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and all that jazz. It's been a really kind of odd and peculiar week for a lot of people. And then a relevant insight is like this practice of holding space, our ability just to like sit with ourselves and other people possibly for everyone's benefit. Like that's super duper useful. Being super discerning with the information that we're ingesting, and yeah, listening into ish. It's like getting to know the self, right? So my intention with reading tarot is to offer this community divine guidance and loving clarity, like intuitively guided for most of my adult life, and highly sensitive. So okay, you guys, let's just sit with the energies. Again, I'm an intuitive reader, so it's only if you resonate that you'd ever join the community, right? If you don't resonate, it's not for you, kind of thing, right? So you're ending a cycle. You might have, and this is relevant to the astrology as well, but you may well have somebody from your past coming back. Sometimes the Six of Cups can be interpreted as a return of sorts. And it kind of feels accurate because it's the end. There's the Ten of Swords in the reverse. So there's a completion of a cycle. And that really is, and that's something probably quite relevant with the shift of the nodes. We're now going to be moving into South Node Scorpio, North Node Taurus, which means the South Node in Sagittarius is definitely coming to an end, okay? And that is a lot to do with grandiosity, egoic illusions, possibly abuse of power, right? And that, the way that looks in our personal lives is just giving power where where it's not justified, right? Giving power. Whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes, you guys. Don't do it. Don't go back to sleep. Yeah. I've just completely lost my train of thought because the world distracted me. Either way, you guys, so Six of Cups. I mean, Six of Cups is a really lovely card. Regardless of any romantic spark, this person returning is a really, really good friend. Somebody that you probably have a lovely time together, that sort of thing. And then for I would dare say like half of you, this could be a romantic partner. This could be somebody from, oh my God. And you just have such a great time and you're like, no way. Do you think this could be? Maybe. And then you like get it on. Maybe not though, So, because there's like another storyline here too. I'm just gonna get some clarity here. There's something about like tying it all together. I think this energy, okay, so there's a few different layers, and there's Judgment, Hierophant, and Seven of Swords in the reverse, and like tying it all together. Like, so this feels like some sort of culmination of these sorts of profound lessons. People lying, things not coming our way, thinking that we're moving in a certain direction and then have it not be that way at all. For some of you, really simply, you might be moving. This, again, a Hierophant in the reverse, the keys are very obvious to me. And so there could be an exchange of keys. Like that's part of the symbolism. So crossing keys, right? Like an exchange of keys, that could be happening for some of you. but this expression of tying it all together somehow just keeps coming through. So you're tying it all together to make anew. There's also, okay, like when it comes to love, when it comes to romantic relationships, there's a whole lot of energy coming up around like taking your time, you know, like sitting on stuff. Because then that kind of loops in. There's something about tying it all together and then like putting it down kind of thing. I mean, and it could have a lot to do with the past circumstances, right? It could have a lot to do with deception, betrayal, being stabbed in the back, you know, all that kind of stuff. So now you're really being asked again, like tying it all together. Don't move so fast into situations. I dare say you won't be able to, because some of you might be moving. This also, like one of the initial like messages that I got for some of you, this is to do with a legal matter. Absolutely. So, okay, yeah, I'm definitely getting like this is a legal battle. This is a divorce. And like judgment not going well. So like if there was some kind of, I don't feel custody because there's no like children here, but classic divorce vibratories of like fighting over who gets what, like assets, right? And judgment reversed with like some shady shit makes me feel like maybe the person lied and got away with not something or other, you know? Maybe they don't have to, is it alimony? I forget, but like it's just been tough. It's been hard going. Like this is again, like for just simplicity, this just feels like a legal battle, and it's not necessarily gone maybe in your favor. Like it's not gone how maybe you would have hoped. And yet on the other side of it, you have a whole new world. You've got loads of love and you've got your integrity. So it's like sticky. It's like, you know, this is fucking brutal lessons. Like sometimes as well, I feel like there's these legal situations or these things come up in our physical realities, but they genuinely are there to make us better people. And often is the case, like even the brutal structures of the world or things that we kick back against, those have value to a certain degree, right? Like where I'm coming from that is like the whole rage against the machine or just fuck the system as some carte blanche statement of all this out there is a horrible, disgusting, or everything old, or all structures or all governments or whatever is this horrible, nasty thing that we all have to fight against is not necessarily the solution. Not that, you know, I mean, okay, I'm like, it is kind of that thing of like, well, like seriously, love is super powerful. Like, so in essence, our ability to love has a lot to do with our ability to have human integrity, like sentience and commonality and respect of our unity, right? Some like, okay, so this like legal situation, possible divorce or whatever, I want to just say like brutal, like sorry, because the Seven of Swords is really coming up to me as like the person, one of the people that might have been putting these in your back constantly. And I just feel like maybe they're being sly, but then I just got this other message of like, don't worry, they're not going to get away with it. It's like, okay, so that's an interesting energy as well, because because then I was hearing like, you know, we all weave our own webs. So we might be weaving our web, but we all know how like fragile a spider's web is, and how quickly we can just like tear it down or take out it. We're all weaving our own web, right? And so the security or the beauty or the whatever of this might not last, or there will be, I guess, holes or whatever in the story, like something like that. Like, even if it looks one way right now, it might not look that way in a pretty quick period of time, especially because we have an approaching, well, it's begun actually, but we're in an eclipse. We're in an eclipse portal, which can be super trippy, weird, shape-shifty, as in crazy things happening that completely alter our reality, including even just like perspective shifts, like thinking one thing is one way, getting info, being like, it's not, holy cow, and then, and then we flip it. There is a powerful, loving energy here. The world, it kind of just feels like I would say, if you're resonating, this is intuitively reflective. Like, you're like, oh yeah, that's me. That's my, that's this battle that I'm in, or that's this person weaving their own shitstorm, basically. And yet, all in all, for you to persist and for you to like sort of get over the hump of this sort of like tying up loose ends around this cycle, which it's been brutal. You have integrity, you have love, and then you have lover's energy. So like, you are coming into a greater space of loving unity and compassion, right? So whomever comes in your life or whatever. Although for a lot of you, I gotta say, like, the lover's energy is here. There are 2 characters in this card, and yet with the world on top of it and the integrity, it's making me feel like you certainly are coming into a greater space of love. And there could be someone from the past returning. It could be a love connection, or it just could be a really, really good friend that is like showing up and supporting you. Although there's the vow card, so yeah, some of you could be making some pretty sincere commitments, again, to yourself, and yet if there's children or if there's loved ones in your life, you're likely to make that same commitment to them as well. Let it be a loving one, you guys. Have an awesome weekend. Can't wait to see you guys real soon, and check out the All to Love TV YouTube channel. I'll be changing things up, and yeah, just offering different insights, services, and all that jazz. Have an awesome weekend, you guys. Peace out.